Hello, welcome again. Second part of second class of the second week. This is about images and margins. Images are fun. Margins are, a bit less, but I'm sure you're going to do well. Cut it short now. I hope you are well. I am. I hope we will soon get all better. And meanwhile, we just go through and finish this class with full colors. See you later. And videos, you can use videos too. Okay, I think you all know how to insert a picture in Word document, but anyway, it's insert, come on, insert, and then guess what? From the insert tab, pictures. Now you can insert pictures from pictures you have on your PC. Well, I don't think you're interested in this, and anyway, this is not the kind of picture we want to insert here because this is a draft of big data made by some student. And so what we want to do is, in case, is to insert online pictures that we found searching the web, big data. I have probably a lot of responses, and I mean something which is somewhat reliable will be data. So let's take this one, double click, and the pictures is now downloaded and inserted. Where is it inserted? Is it inserted where I have my pointer on? I by any chance have my pointer inside this part of the text, so the picture has been inserted here. Now this is a bit too big. We want to shrink it. Now what is the problem that we see with this picture here? That this picture is used by Word as if it was just a big letter. It's taking all this space just like if it was a big A. If let's say that I want to select this A here, and I get is a bigger, that's the same thing that happens to a picture. Here I have a character that takes all this space up, distancing the other part of the chapter. Now, you've heard about the word distancing in these days. And so that's what happens when you insert a picture as it is. But there is one important layout option button here with which you can avoid the problem of having this gap of text inside. By clicking the layout options button there, you are sent to it's outside the recording. Let's move the picture here. You are sent to pardon me, the option to have it in line with text, which means it distances the above part from the below part of the paragraph, or with text wrapping. Of the many options that we have in text wrapping, for the moment we stay with the first one, square. Square means that the text flows around the picture. 1, 2, beep. That is it. So we can move this picture anywhere we want in the text, and it's part of the text, just like a picture should be in any decent publication. This is a recap of what I showed you in the previous slide with all the steps that you need to perform to insert and then wrap text around the picture. Wrap text, it's mandatory. You have to wrap square each image you insert in your papers with me. You have to wrap. Did I mention you have to wrap? Wrap, yes, wrap. Right, a few things about the properties of a graphic object into Word. Clicking here, I have this layout options button, and at the bottom of it I have a see more options, and I have more layout options here. One of the more layout options that I have is text wrapping. It's square, and at this point I can define the padding around this image from the content of the image to the rest of the text. Here we have a good margin on the bottom, but you know, the text on the right is quite close, and if we want to increase, we have to go to distance from text and increase the right side. Clicking OK, you see I have distanced the text from the right side of the picture. A bit too much, admittedly, so let's do it again. Layout options, more, text wrapping, right, let's say 2 is going to be enough, right? Yes, 2, it's more than enough. The distance from the bottom, it's already okay because we have a new line in between, so this is a good distance from the bottom. Next, I have the option, right-clicking on the image, to put a caption. You know, it's a rule that every image should have below the image a caption with what that image is all about. The title of the image, it's called caption. So insert caption. Word automatically numbers the figures, the pictures with figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. We can change this one in whatever we want. We stay with figure for the moment. And then the caption will be a short briefing of what big data is. I know, this kind of thing. You can write whatever you want. Clicking OK, the caption appears below the image. This is the standard way we set an image on our papers. A word of warning. Do this caption thing after you have moved the picture to its final destination. Because if you add the text around here, well, nothing happens, okay? If you add text up there, it goes down with the text and this stays together. But if you decide at some point to move this picture somewhere else, then the caption, it's not automatically following the picture. I'm now going to put the picture up here. I put the picture up there, and the caption ended up here. So I have to take the caption, click on the caption, and move the caption back to the image. Close to the image. That's a good thing. Oh, at this point, what I see, since I moved it on the right side of the page, that the left margin is somewhat, you know, too small. So, right-click on the picture, wrap text, more layout options. What I'm doing now, I'm trying to increase this space on the left. I want to distance the picture from the text on the left part of it. So that's going to be, again, right-click, wrap text, more layout options there at the bottom. More layout option, I am back in text wrapping, and this time I can increase the left margin, the left distance, to 2. Perhaps the right margin can stay like that. That's the result. More space, more padding between this picture and the rest of the text. This operation is mandatory for all pictures in our course, wrapped square and marginated. So this is a reminder that whenever we use pictures in our reports, in our Word documents, pictures have to be framed square, quite distant from the text around, elegantly, and with caption included always, all the time. Frame square and with caption. Thank you. Yes, like pictures, you have graphics object. A picture, it's the typical graphics object you have in Word, and you can do a few more things besides repositioning. You can crop, you can rotate, you can do different things. Let me show you in the next slide. This picture can be modified. Right click on it. You have the option to crop. That is, you can resize, well, not resize, really extract part of the picture that you want to show or not. So then reposition it. You also have the option to, widen, stretch the picture. And if you so happen to be delighted to try, up here you can, rotate the picture. Should you want to keep rotating the picture as long as you want, because you have fun of it, it's a good, pastime thing. Just so that you know, actually, you may want to shrink the picture. And should you be willing to that, you can even look at the picture from the other side, which is not recommended in this class anyhow. No, that's the Navy calling. Let's resize, put the picture place where it should. Right click on it. You can also style the picture, give it some sort of, style according to your taste. I strongly recommend you take a lot of care in doing these weird things to a picture that then goes into a report. This time I will allow you on this report to have fun, to experiment, to do whatever you want. Normally, look, this kind of framing, this kind of styling, it depends who you are having to send this report to. It's fine for me, of course, but if it's a very serious, conservative professor or supervisor, you might want to exert some caution in it. More graphics object can be added to your Word document. Shapes, screenshots, smart art, word art, and charts in all Office programs except Access. And of course, you can add Excel tables and Excel charts. We are going to look at that in the next week. Let me show you a few of the basic objects that you can insert, and these objects can be inserted using basically the same techniques you use to insert pictures. A picture, it's a graphic object, and any graphic object can also be treated as a picture. Yeah, besides, Word is getting angry at me for doing these nasty things to the reports. For the moment I forget. So what can you do? You can insert graphics object like, shape, an arrow that says, you can stretch and thin the arrow as you want. That says, look at this specific thing inside the chart, inside the picture. You can insert 3D models, which I have no idea what they are at the moment. So indeed, we just get rid of that. Smart art is specifically things like charts. Those are figures that you can include anywhere in the text. Put together, select the whole thing and move the whole thing. Frame this square too, and then use it anywhere in the text as one more picture, a chart to describe something. Remember, then I moved it, so I have to move the caption too. Diagrams, flow charts, many of the smart art objects can be included into your Word document, as you probably have seen in different kind of reports. Besides that, you can add word art. Word art is a set of special characters that you can enter anywhere that says so that you can, you know, add some special attractive graphics to focus on something which you really want to highlight. Caution, caution, caution. Handle with a lot of care. This is not something that you might want to include in your reports unless you are A, positively sure that the receiver, the reader of your report is a nice guy or lady. 2, it makes sense inside the report. I'm a funny guy, say, but I don't want to see weird things that are not that do not make sense inside the context of the writing. Last and also least, of very little importance, if you want to color the page background, or if you want to insert watermark, from the Design tab, you have this option. I will explain to you in the next page, but anyway, what you see here, it's a watermark, ghost text, such as draft, confidential, or urgent, or rubbish. No, you usually don't say rubbish behind the paper. Page color and page borders are also something that's to be handled really with a lot of care. So from the Design tab, you might want to include that's on the right side, a watermark that says confidential. You see it in between. Custom watermark that says text watermark, text useless. Page borders, box, and you can probably assign the color. Okay, that's a page border frame and a page color background. Now the page color background, look. It might seriously hamper the possibility of reading the text. It applies to the whole paper. Watermark, border and background apply to all the document, as long as the document is one section only, but this will be cared for later on. So if you have to produce a brochure or something that is, you know, divulgative or for some reason must be attractive, you may want to try this, but always please remember this is Word. It's not a publisher. We are not Pixar. We are not Disney Studios. We are producing, you know, serious papers. So again, don't let me see weird things. Page color you can fill with effects. You can also, if you want, fill it with a picture and select a picture, work offline, like this. Should you want to put a picture on the background of the paper, I strongly recommend you don't do this. So Control Z, we undo, and this is the most you can see. Okay, we stop for a moment. The next presentation will be about margins, but I think 16 slides and the time you spent on this presentation, it's already enough for the moment. So now unleash your creativity. Create this big data report, at least 4 pages. There must be something a little bit bigger. I believe it's going to be a project, an individual project for all of you. It's not going to be graded at the moment. It will be graded next week when I will give it to you as an assignment. The radio is warning us of a storm, and then follow up with the next 4.7 presentation. Stop the marine radio, and after that I'll meet you again. Now pause and create this big data report. Take the time you want, but create something which is nice and complete, because we were then going to apply margins in the next presentation. Bye bye.